NFL 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Minnesota Vikings as they get set to square off against the Oakland Raiders. So with that, let's get out to the East Bay in Oakland, California. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really...
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. The numbers a week ago for Cook. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Flush to his right. He's going to let this. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scored.
They start the drive with Cook. He finds an opening past the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings... first down. Here's the run with Cook. A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On second down, Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They'll face a third down conversion attempts here, 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
On 1st and 10, Anderson. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
They run the counter with Cook, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That's caught by Treadwell. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Laquan Treadwell, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And an alley to run. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, Anderson. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Finding room inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
The last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Here's Anderson on 1st and 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Anderson now looking to throw on second down, and that'll be incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Anderson gonna throw on third and goal. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. This down near the 20-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw on second down. Anderson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Get a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you
open man is Treadwell, and he's got it for the Minnesota touchdown. Laquan Treadwell, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. And for the defensive
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Again, this is Cook. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
To To throw on second down. Anderson. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards at the midway point. It's a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Anderson on third down. Going deep for Diggs. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Again, it's Cook. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
4 down.
To throw is Anderson. Throwing on first down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Bruce Irvin, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
He's going to look deep down the field. And got his man complete. 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 91 yards. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. So from back deep. Handoff comes to Cook. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. to throw again. Anderson. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That'll go as a loss of... The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. They run it again with Cook, and he'll be taken down at the 34. He needed 2, he got 1. And now out comes Minnesota. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On the carry, it's Cook. They find some open field here. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The left side caught by Diggs. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
He's going to launch this thing. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They'll run with Cook, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
You want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on,
a big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
they will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, they continue to cruise through this first half.